everybody. Welcome to the show. Today we are discussing a thread on X from Sahil Bloom. He's a really interesting thinker, writer, and I follow him on X. And he has this paradox thread that I highly recommend. And we won't go through everything that he mentions, but I should shut off my phone because I'm getting blown up and it might still go off. I hope. Did you hear that ding?
I didn't hear it, but yeah.
Okay, maybe it won't. So anyway, let's chat about this thread, and how about we do it like this? I'll give you one, you give me one, and we'll go back and forth. I want to talk about three, so maybe we'll talk about a total of six, um, and um, and two of them are interesting that I want to chat about, and one of them to me is like a lifesaver, like a game changer. It's so powerful
Good.
for me. And this one that I want to talk about is work longer, get less done.
Hmm.
I'm all in on that one. I'm all in on the idea that the longer you work, maybe you get less done. So there's this idea about Parkinson's law. I know I've mentioned it on the channel before years ago, but just lately it's meant more to me. And Parkinson's law is this, that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. In other words, instead of saying, I'm just going to do some work, I'm going to do some work right now, get some stuff done. Instead of saying that and leaving it broadly to fill your time, fill the rest of your day, say, I'm going to schedule a narrow time frame to do it, even if it feels too short of a time, and I'm going to see if I can get it done. It's like fitting your work in a narrow slot of time. I have 15 minutes to clean the kitchen. Like this kitchen? No, this will take me an hour. No, I have 15 minutes. And it's amazing how much you can get done in that 15 minutes. How about I have 15 minutes to clean my apartment? Now that's really interesting. If you didn't think you could do it your kitchen in 15 minutes, how about your whole apartment in 15 minutes? That's when things get interesting and you get things done. And maybe you don't finish, but boy, did I get close. And I started to transfer this idea into the classroom, and I've been doing that to my students. You have 20 minutes to write your thesis and your whole introductory paragraph. Mr. Aguilar, are you crazy? No. But boy, the students are working and not wasting time chatting and getting up, using the restroom. You have 20 minutes and that's it. That's the only time I have. And we get more accomplished when we're very sensitive to time. And I have a timer in my room, Jacob, and I hit that clock
That's
and
good.
we shift from activity to activity. And I said, hey, I'm the good guy here. I don't want you to do this for homework. I don't want you home. I don't want you to have homework. And then we get things. I really like work longer, get less done. Because I don't want to work longer. I want
Wow.
less work. What say you, Jacob?
There's so many these paradoxes, and his last name is Bloom, correct? Um,
Yes.
and so one of them is number nine. It says this, it's a speed paradox. Strong, reliable brakes allow you to go fast, right? Build these brakes in your life that allow you to accelerate, and whatever those brakes may be, And I think for myself, um, sometimes I'm too hesitant on doing things, and there's too many brakes, right? So there's no acceleration at all. But the whole purpose is, what are your goals? Maybe your goal is to be student. I know there's some teachers who want to better themselves, and I think we all want to better ourselves. But there's some goals that we have. Whatever those goals are, they might be, hey, I want to be teacher of the year, or I want to be, I want to be able to do this one unit in a way where 90% of my students are doing well and passing the test over. So, but how do you do that? And whatever those breaks may be, they may be physical breaks. They may be like, I need some rest. You mentioned in another video that you take a walk once in a while to kind of recharge your battery, or at least to think about things that are going on. We need those things so we could power forward. And it could be a physical break, it could be a mental break, it could be just Maybe at work, there's some things that you're gonna say something.
I'm a little puzzled
Okay.
because you're saying break, BREAK, but isn't it BRAKE?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm using it for the same thing though. Break and break.
So
I mean, they're
you're saying a physical break, like a stop.
yeah, yeah,
I got confused.
yeah.
Okay,
But
okay, so this is I'm glad we're talking about this because this is the one I have the hardest time wrapping my mind
okay.
around. Can you repeat the paradox again?
Yeah, let me repeat it too. Strong, reliable brakes allow you to go fast, right? And that's a physical brakes like in a car, right?
Yeah,
I looked at that.
BRAKE. Yes.
Brakes. Although I was looking at it as breaks because I think it could be used that way. Because how do you move forward without taking care of yourself? That's how I looked at it, right? And I think he might be been wanting that to be understood as well, but I might be wrong. But how do you take care of yourself so you can move forward in your life? How do you take those breaks's, right? Those breaks to recharge yourself. You do it as a walk. Some people do other things. It might be there might be other things. Maybe you have
Hey,
issues at work. Go ahead.
can I ask you though, did
Sure.
you read also this might help people. And you may have already done this. Did you read his sub
Yeah.
tweet about with that? Did you read
Yeah.
that one too?
Yeah.
About
I can read
speeding
it.
around the track. Okay. Can you read
Yeah.
it again?
Build breaks into your life that allow you to accelerate.
No, before that.
Strong, reliable brakes allow you to go fast.
Around the track, right?
Yeah, you
Allow
did
you to
talk
go
about it on the
fast.
track. Yes. Right.
And so
Go ahead.
the literal or
Yeah.
how people drive when they're either on
hmm
riding yeah, motorcycle, bike, or a speedway
Sure.
is you are able to make those. So to help us understand the metaphor, you're able, or to turn it into a metaphor, you're
Sure.
able to make these turns that are incredibly
With
nail
good brakes.
biting because you have good brakes. So you are able to go faster because you are able to
Yeah.
brake if something can happen. Now, okay, so that's that. So now
Yes.
make an application in your life so I can understand it.
So my application is to move forward in your life, right? To excel at whatever it is. Is it in teaching? Is it in parenting? Is it in your relationship with your wife or husband? What is it? And what's keeping you from having that wonderful thing? Sometimes you need to put things in your life to make you stop and think, okay, how do I move forward? Is it is it looking out for yourself physically? I have some ailments right now, right? But how can I move forward with my life, Ruben, without taking care of those ailments to go forward? I could just sit on it, and I have sat on some of them for a while, right? And now that I'm moving forward with them, so I could be a better father, so I could be a better teacher, a better husband, and so that's what the application. That's one application. There's other applications you could have with this one, but it made me think about it just because of where I am physically right now.
This is just me, just because again, I mentioned this, that it's the hardest one for me to understand. And I guess for me, at least at my processing right now, is it
Sure.
the one it's most similar to is the one I didn't write this one down though, but it's the one where it said actions, effortless activity comes from much effort. So, and I could be wrong about this, but you remember that one where Jimi Hendrix
I
would
do.
play the guitar very effortlessly. Like he just put it in his hands and he would just, so that's the example he gave. But he put in an enormous amount of effort and work and time to get there. So
He
for
did.
me, it was like when I saw the break one, it was almost like the hair splitting turns are because you can do that. You're able to do that because you can stop and change it up. So I'm going to give you my application. And
Yes. Give
again,
me your application.
I'm still struggling. Here's my application. Um, I guess there's two maybe, but I remember our friend Dina telling me that she was in the middle of a lesson and then she had to stop it completely because it wasn't working. And she
Yeah.
she had the confidence to stop the lesson and say, class, this isn't working, but that's okay. We're going to shift to something else. And she completely abandoned her lesson because she knew she could do that. She had the trust of the crowd. Her class implicitly trust her. Uh, and she could shift to something else that she had greater confidence in, and she could abandon that. A teacher with
Mhm.
less confidence and skill couldn't do that because of oh, I'm going to lose my crowd. They're not going to trust me. But Dina could hit the brake and shift to something else. Do you see? I
Yeah,
mean,
I think they
that
could be how I understand it. I think it could be used both ways. I could see how
I'm
I
not
mentioned it.
saying
Yeah, for
anybody's
sure.
wrong or anybody's right. I'm just
I
saying
get
for
what you're
me,
saying.
yeah, and I've tried to like feel that out too. Like I can I have for me the application for me is that I have to be really good at what I'm doing. I think for like whether it's in a relationship, it's in the classroom, it's stand-up comedy. When I see a good comic, he's like, this is this is this is not good. I see comics do that. This joke's not good.
Right.
This joke stinks. And then he gets a big laugh. And then he's transitioning because he can. I don't know. But
Yeah.
again, it's the one I know the least, so I'm still working that out.
No. No, that's good. That's good. What's your next one?
Here's one. Here's one called the boredom paradox, which I think is fascinating. The most creative, captivating ideas stem directly from periods of intense boredom. And so I really like it because I'm not I want to understand it and keep learning from it, but I think it's related to the idea of our best ideas come out of the shower, you know, when we're in the shower, and we'll take, and then that's one of the reasons why I take those
Yeah,
little walks is that you get I'll get these real cool f- uh, uh, light bulbs going off, you know, when I'm just trying when I step away and boredom, you know, I like how he says schedule boredom into your routine. It's okay to be bored or not to do anything or not to be at the movies or be here. I gotta be doing something. How about you just sit there, stare out of the window at a Starbucks and just contemplate, and good things can happen.
for sure. I like that. Man, these are all good ones. And this can we repeat the gentleman's name again? Bloom. What's his first name?
Sahil Bloom.
Okay. And you can find him on X. So, uh, I've this one I'm going to share, Ruben. It's number 17. It's called the news paradox. The more news you consume, the less will inform. I'm sorry, let me say it again. The more news you consume, the less well informed you are. Turn off the news, you know. And so there are times, and in my life, and recently, this is one of the things I don't watch CNN or Fox. It just there's too much of it. It's just, and I'm hearing the same, same stuff being said over and over again. But I also have to do that with things I read, you know. And so, and especially if you're seeing one movie, like if you're let's say you're on X and you're getting all this conservative thought, you're not really they're all saying the same thing. Or if you're liberal, you're just getting all their articles and so forth. It just gets you
Blue
get
sky.
what's that?
Blue sky. Blue sky is if you're on the left. Blue
Blue
sky.
sky. Okay. And so that being said, you know, none of it's profitable because then it's like just noise. And so he was encouraging, you know what? Sometimes you just have to sign off, right? And um, just get away from it. So you could be able to process things that you have heard that are you know that you've filtered a little bit. And so I think that's a good reminder of us since we get so bogged down into our into our rights and to what we believe that we miss a lot of things. So it's a good reminder, it's good because when you're a teacher too, you want to be able to present things. Because I do journals with my students, I want to be able to present them with an unbiased, lens. Say, hey, this is what's going on. What do you guys think? We're gonna say,
Well, I also wrote that down, and I think he's also relating it to the idea of noise versus signal. The idea that when we when we take in too much, this idea of I want to be well informed. I want to be well informed. Therefore, watching the news every night to be well informed. But according to him, and there's other thinkers, is that actually you become less informed because you are less able to differentiate noise versus signal. Signal is the key thing to what's right, and how do you filter all the noise when all you get is information? You have to watch less of it. And so I
Yeah.
recommend, because I'm biased with literature, just a really good book, sometimes just to move out. Shakespeare, just saw a really great rendition of Midsummer Nights, and Twelfth Night last week was great.
Nice.
So anyway,
Or
everybody,
go
Sahil.
see a concert or something. Just something to just get you thinking something, you know.
I was walking down the street last night. I saw a rendition of Midsummer Night's Dream at Cathedral High School.
Oh, good.
Several of my students were in the show, so I checked it out, and I just walked home because I could walk home from Cathedral High School. It's so close.
Oh my.
As I was walking, I saw the red. There's a bar by Dodger Stadium. I go, oh, that's a really cool spot, you know. And they go $10 charge, and I go, nah. They go, well, it's music. I go, man, I just love live music.
Oh,
I want to pay the $10. I went in there, and the band was so cool.
oh, okay.
Downtown LA is the place where you could just walk in. You're spending a little cover, but you're
Sure.
seeing bands, live bands, just something different. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Bye bye.